What is up, everybody? Welcome to Party on Broad. Today we are talking NFL Draft. This is also a mini Sixers watch party as we are dialed in to Sixers versus Knicks Game 2. Joining us, he is Ryan Reese. Give me a shout out on X at Philly Sports PSA. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on? I didn't realize I was on top. Hey, how you doing?
That's what she said.
Yeah, darn right. Lots of complaints about the Sixers game, even though they are up by 4 or 2. I don't, depending on how slow your TV is. Yeah, lots to complain about. We'll get to it.
Also joining us, he is Rob Lange. Give him a follow on X at Philly_Madness. What's good, Rob?
Listen, it's been a long time since I've been on during a live Philadelphia game. Dives will tell you things could get really interesting tonight. I don't have 8 Coronas in me, so that's the only thing. I may be able to keep it PG-13, maybe a little rated R, but it won't become a Quentin Tarantino movie in here.
Yeah. Originally, we were going to talk a ton of NFL drafts. We've got tons of questions. We'll get through them. Maybe we won't. I don't know. Guys, if you're watching us live, comment your thoughts on this Knicks game. Comment your thoughts on the NFL draft. You guys lead the way tonight as we get ready. There will be a Sixers post game right after this. So this is more so a hangout I'm hoping for as the Sixers are looking to tie the series. All right. We have Quentin in the house. What's going on, man? Thanks for joining. In the house. What's going on, Daniel?
Yeah, much appreciated to anybody joining us tonight. We know there's a lot going on, so we thank you.
Even the Phillies, 7 straight. How about
and not only are they winning, but it's like they're shutting teams out. Like their starting pitching has been impeccable lately.
Yeah, Ranger Suarez looks like a star, man. That guy's going to make a lot of money very soon. All right, let's move on to our first topic of the evening. What will the Eagles do at number 22? Final takes and predictions. Ryan, lead us off, man.
Listen, I think a gun to my head, and it's going to change about 18 different times between now and Thursday when we go live for the draft coverage here on Edge of Philly Sports. I'm going to say they're going to move up slightly. 5 picks, maybe max. And they're going to go up and get Quinyon Mitchell, corner out of Toledo. Wow. I think the price tag for trying to move all the way up to get Terrion Arnold might be a little bit too much for Howie. So he goes for his second choice, moves up 4 or 5 spots, grabs Quinyon, and we get ourselves a sweet, sweet corner.
Quinyon for Ryan. How about you, Rob? What's your vibe? What's your gut feeling?
I mean, my vibe is if they trade up, it's for Terrion Arnold. I really like Quinyon Mitchell, but I don't know if he is your prototypical Eagles type of corner. I think the Terrion Arnold love is real. I think the cornerback in the first love round is real. I mean, when Adam Schefter comes on Philly radio and says, look, there is something to the Eagles looking at a corner in the first round. And you hear guys like Brian Baldwin, guys that really, have their ear to this team saying that. I think that, listen, I think JC Latham might be the offensive lineman that if they stayed at 22 and he somehow fell, I think they like the kid from Washington, but I don't know if they're trading up for an offensive tackle. I just don't know if that's it. If they trade up, and look, we've been wrong before, right? Where they trade up, we think they're going one way and they go another, but I think it's for corner. I, at this point, think if there's a trade up, it's Terrion Arnold. If not, it's a trade down. And then you're going to see, best player available is the way I look. But I think that there's a lot more. That's the hand of my son, by the way. I don't know what he's doing. But I think corner's the play. I really do. I think that they're gonna go with it, and we'll be happy.
It's going to be really interesting to see when that first defensive player is taken in this draft, because I'm in the same boat. I think Howie moves up slightly and is hoping, as you guys talked about, Quinyon Mitchell, Terrion Arnold, and I've said this from day one, I do think it's Leatu Latu. I think the Eagles have circled on him as a guy that if he slips just a little bit. And this is a guy who could go as high as like 8 in the draft. But like there are some concerns. Obviously, the injury history with Leatu Latu is concerned, but he's also an older prospect. By the time he's in his 4th or 5th year, he'll be 28 years old or so. Does that give you any pause, Ryan? Does that make you say, let's go a different direction? Because to me, at least, he's my edge one in this draft.
Yeah, I love Latu. And in fact, just after hearing myself say that, I wanna get a shirt like Brick from Anchorman. I love Lamp. I love Latu. This is a guy that I think we if the Eagles go for, I absolutely think he's going to be a home run here, and we are kind of forget about the Nolan Smith pick, potentially being a bust, but hopefully he kind of turns it around or at least gets some more than 200 snaps. But yeah, I just think he's my edge one as well. I really like him, and honestly, it's funny. I have seen him. You're right, as in the top 10 easily. I've seen him being, there at 22. So like, it's really hard for me to kind of figure out where he might fall because again, it probably differs from team to team. So I'd be okay with the move up for him as well. Again, I think maybe that 5 pick move up. I think if you can somehow move up that much, maybe not have to give up 50 or 53, I think it's a home run.
The edge class is really interesting because like my gut feeling is how this plays out on Thursday is we're going to see Leatu Latu, Jared Verse, and Dallas Turner all go bang, bang, bang pretty quickly in this draft because they're definitely the upper echelon of edge rushers in this class. And after you get to that, you get to guys like Darius Robinson, who is a fringe first-round pick. You get to guys like Chop Robinson, another fringe first-round pick, and so forth. But there's not a lot of depth at that spot. And if you want a plug-and-play edge rusher, it starts with those 3 and ends there. So it's going to be really interesting. I think we're going to see 3 off the board pretty fast, unlike some other positions. And you look at the draft in general this year, it's heavy offense in round 1, much like half of that or a third of that on defense. So that's for all those reasons, I think we're going to see those 3 defensive edge rushers go really quickly. I would not be surprised to see Latu like drafted as high as like within the top 10.
Yeah.
I do like him a lot. But there's also Dallas Turner, who's an uber athlete. If you look at, the Nolan Smith of last year, just an uber athlete. Dallas Turner is another one of those guys. Very raw, great pass rusher. Won't give you a lot against the run, but pound for pound, one of the best athletes in this draft, without a doubt. Any thoughts on Dallas Turner in those like mid-teens range to move up for?
Yeah, I don't know. I honestly, it's funny. I don't think. I think Dallas Turner, in my eyes, has always been viewed maybe in the league as edge one. So I feel like he was always that one that was out of reach. So never really kind of thought about him to the Eagles. And honestly, I think it would be great. I think either way, if you get Latu, Verse, or Turner, I just have a feeling. My opinion is that he's going to be the first edge off the board. And I would be ecstatic if we were able to somehow get him.
I think my like general gut feeling is I was very much all in with the corners, Terrion Arnold and Quinyon Mitchell. I think as time has progressed, I'm definitely leaning a little bit more towards the edge rusher, which was not me, just a few months ago. But let's move on to our next topic of the evening. What's more likely, the Eagles trading up, the Eagles staying at number 22, or the Eagles trading back? Any thoughts, Bob?
I don't think they stay at 22. One way or the other, they're moving. Judging by some of the things you heard over the last couple of days, they really want to trade up. Now I'm sure Howie does this every year, but he is putting out feelers to trade up. So I'll go with that. I'll go with they're going to trade up, and we'll go from there.
Trade up for Rob. What about you, Ryan?
I'm sorry.
This is single parenting at its best.
Believe me,
You're good.
it's adorable. Yeah, listen, if I'm with Rob. There's honestly, I think the chances of them staying at 22 are probably at like 10%. I think the chances of them moving up are probably at 50, moving back at probably 40. So I'd say up is the most likely scenario for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Which is weird, right? Like I've always pictured the best scenario for the Eagles to be maybe a slight trade back for
Right.
like, perhaps like for a Jackson Powers Johnson or a Cool
Mhm.
McKinstry, of guys of that tier.
Yeah.
And I think it would be a good move. But like at the end of the day, I want guys that are going to be on the football field day one. I want guys that are going to be making an impact for
Yes.
the Eagles week one, starting, no questions asked. And that's all part of it, right? It's all relative because Howie's track record, Howie's resume in the 20s ain't so good, Rob. Am I wrong? Like,
It's terrible in the 20s. It's terrible in the 20s. There's your Andre Dillards. There's your Marcus Smiths. There's your
Jalen Rieger.
there's your say it again. Say it again. Back types.
Jalen Rieger.
Yeah, Jalen Rager. Okay. I mean, that's why, but it's like, I don't want to pick. It's funny because, I kept thinking, I'll just stay at 22, but I'd rather move up. But if he does move back, I'm at least sitting there going, okay, are you moving back? And do you have a plethora of Powers Johnson, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Nate Wiggins? Are these guys all sitting there for you to make a choice from? Which I think any of us would be happy with any one of those three guys right now if you move back and get another couple picks. But my guess is he's looking to move up. He's looking to get to 16, 15. I think that Seattle pick is one that's being circled right now. Do you trade 22 and 53 or 50 and get up to 16, but also get a third round pick in that deal? So you're picking at 50 and 80 something instead. Would be something that I think is certainly in play. No, Quentin, this is not in play.
I was going to lead into that. What about trading AJ Brown into the top?
No,
it's not happening. It's not happening. They're turning down every single person who's called them. It's not happening.
Yeah. All right.
So speaking of that Seattle pick, there was somebody on NFL.com did a 7-rounder mock draft, had the Eagles trading, I think 50 and 22 to get up to their 16 to take, I believe it was Terry and Arnold.
I would
who
do that.
Following a little bit, right?
Yeah.
But then looking down at what I think I think they ended up 53 taking Zach Zinter when JT Sanders and Edgerrin Cooper and Xavier Legette were still there at 53. And Jackson Powers Johnson went to Pittsburgh at 51. No, thank you. If that's
that would be fun.
Woo, 50. You get Powers Johnson at 50. Let's go.
Man, I'm already having panic attacks with like that thought process.
I tell you what, I have like the first round, like in the back of my mind, it's always going to be they're going to go offensive line. So I don't have panic attacks about the first round because I'm preparing for that. It's those two picks in the second round that I'm having the nerve-wracking moments about. Yeah. Are they going to draft, guys like Edgerrin Cooper, or are they going to draft guys like Zach Zinter and leave some of these other names on the board? That's where my nerves kick in, is at 50 and 53. But who knows? It's going to be fascinating, whatever happens.
Rob, I'm right there with you. I think the second round is going to give me more of a panic attack than anything because I feel like there's probably 10 guys that I absolutely love for them at 50 and 53. And I know because I'm a Philadelphia Eagles fan that I'm going to have my heart broken and we're not going to draft a single one of them. And I'm going to sit here just crying probably because all my favorite players are probably going to go to Dallas, New York, or Washington. It's can't handle it. I don't think I can do it. Not live either. My crying.
Man, the Sixers are getting destroyed right now in this third quarter. They're only down one, but like, man, play 4 quarters of basketball.
I know.
Please, guys, let's get into our draft watch party going down on Thursday, 7:00. We will be breaking down everything NFL draft, not just Eagles. We'll talking team needs for every NFL team, NFL draft trivia. All of us here will be breaking it down. It's going to be a ton of fun. So be sure to join us this Thursday, 7:00. And join trending in the AM, 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. Phil Stiefel does a great job talking the biggest news in Philly sports. It's a great show, man. You'll thank me later. Check out Trending in the AM as Nick Batum hits a huge three, which ties the game with 3 minutes remaining.
I don't like seeing the Joel Embiid on the
bench
on the sideline getting that knee massage, though. I'll tell you that.
Big Al says, can we talk about the calls in the last 2 Sixers games? I hate being the one to call out the refs, but it's been so bad, man. It's attack foul. Attack fouls as Paul Reed tips in a put back off.
I hate the fact you are like
lead here. But my gosh, like Jalen Brunson's just a foul merchant, man. And he's pulling some Trae Young shit that he's getting. It's just straight home cooking, man. And it's been really difficult to watch when Maxey doesn't get a single foul. And that's really also on Maxey's got to do a better job just flopping. Honestly, if this is what he needs to resort to, it's what it is. Because the Sixers are getting nothing while the Knicks are getting everything. Go ahead, Rob.
Well, you just look at the technical foul they called, which was nonsense. You know, DiVincenzo is the one that literally walks into Embiid.
Yep.
If you're going to throw a technical, then it's got to be a double. You can't just do that. It's just look. I'm telling you, and I don't want to be that guy, and I hate being that guy. But there's something to the NBA still not being happy about the process.
Yep.
I fully believe that now. I really do.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. You see every time Embiid is getting his jersey held, gripped. You know, he's absolutely getting murdered down in the post, trying to grab boards, and they don't call a single thing. I hate it too. I hate being the guy that's like, hey, look at the refs. But listen, it would help if we had even an even called game. Like they just it's hard to play 5-on-6.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's literally single-handedly kept the Knicks in this game in big moments, and no one who likes basketball is enjoying this. Like it's so lopsided in my opinion. But the Knicks,
it's not basketball. The flopping, like you said, Brunson, all he does is he drives into you, then flops backwards and hucks the shot up like that. I'm sorry, that's not basketball. That's honestly, I can't even say what the word is because I don't want to be that rude on air. But it starts with a B and ends with an itch. Just saying that's how they play.
Oh my God.
Got a little G in the house. Thanks for joining.
Little G. Let's go.
Sixers down 4. Again, one more time, we'll be doing a Sixers post-game show right after this. Sean, Tiago, myself, and Mitch, we will be breaking it. Oh, my gosh, hit that Maxey. Oh, my God, that would have been insane. Maxey with a little crossover step back from Steph Curry land, but he missed it.
Yeah, he did.
And the Knicks, thank God, missed that shot. But they get an offensive
Man,
board that is off the Knicks. Sixers basketball.
Times, you're killing me,
dude. You guys are a good 20 seconds ahead of me. It's unbelievable.
He's killing me. He's like, oh, and Maxey throws up a three. I'm like,
Yeah, well, he's giving the Knicks offensive rebound, and Maxey is just shooting it on my screen.
All right, let's get into our next question. Which first-round offensive linemen are the Eagles most likely to draft? I think we're pretty much all on board with not wanting an offensive lineman for the Philadelphia Eagles. But who do you think they are targeting, Ryan?
Honestly, it's gonna upset me. You just somebody said something earlier about what if they would to trade up for an offensive tackle.
I did that months ago, and I think it's still spot on.
I thought just drafting a tackle would be the worst possible thing the Eagles could do. But trading up and probably trading away one of my second round picks. They're not yours. They're mine. I want them.
Rob,
don't be giving those up for a tackle. Like I'm sorry, unless Joe Alt falls, and you're gonna get Joe Alt, then forget about it. I don't want any of you bums. But to answer your question, I could see them doing that said scenario if somebody like a J.C. Latham starts to really fall, do a slight trade up to grab them. I think the dream of Jackson Powers Johnson at 22 or higher is probably dead. I think they can accomplish that with a trade back if they were really going to do that. But and then there's Guyton, who everything I keep reading is they love this dude, and I am so effing scared of it. I don't like him for the birds. I don't want him to sit for 2 years. I don't want him to try to be a guard for 2 years. I don't want any of it. And knowing me, that's probably who they're going to take is Tyler Guyton.
Yeah, so in case anybody didn't know, we did a mock draft where we all had different scenarios.
Oh, that's right. Oh my God.
We had like the defense draft where one person reloaded the defense for the Eagles. Another person had the offense draft. Another one had, I forget what it was. I don't remember. I think it might have been offensive line or something.
Yeah, I think I was like linebackers and safeties. That was all I could do, which is I was perfectly fine with.
My draft was Howie is on crack. That was the theme of my mock.
Did it look like my mock from the one day?
It did.
No.
No.
So what it was, the Eagles traded up to like 11, I think, or 12. And there was like Terrion Arnold and Quinyon Mitchell and Leatu Latu and Turner. Everybody was on the board at that time. And the scenario would be we're all freaking out, celebrating that we moved up. We're going to get one of these like top defensive players in this draft. And they drafted J.C. Latham. And I still to this day think like that's one of the most Howie moves he could probably do. So almost went in. So I don't even know what we're talking about. The offensive lineman that I think is most likely to go to the Eagles is J.C. Latham. I do think he's in that tier of like elite tier in terms of offensive tackle, but also in that like trading up in that range where Leatu Latu in like the early to mid-teens range. The other guy that I'm curious about is Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State, an elite run blocker. That's really what he is. I do think he could thrive at right guard. I do have issues with like a lot of people that are all in on some of these offensive linemen thinking that most can just learn how to play right guard tomorrow. That's not how it works. And I think only Latham and I think is Jackson Powers Johnson. I could be wrong on that. are the only two that actually had snaps during their college career at right guard.
Yes.
That's it. Everyone else, it's all hypotheticals.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm so tentative about this whole thing about offensive linemen. Because that's what you hear. It's like, oh, yeah, right guard of the present, right tackle of the future. That's not how it works, man. It's not how it works. Quentin says, Dives, press pause. That reminds me of our watch parties when we would like match.
Oh, dude, it was so fun. So much fun. So much fun trying to make that stuff work.
Absolutely. So the Sixers here are down 5. Start of the fourth quarter. This is it, man. These are the non-Embiid minutes. They actually did really well in the second quarter. It was a 0 in terms of Embiid on the bench. So hopefully the Sixers.
Well, they went with the non-Embiid there in the third. It looked like.
Did they?
And it didn't go well. That's when the Knicks made their run.
Yeah.
Embiid got back in there for the last minute and a half or so, and we're at the 5-point game here.
That's crazy.
No, man.
Embiid had 12 of the Sixers' 20 points in that third quarter, and he missed some time too.
Yeah, they were massaging his knee on the sideline at one point. A third guy's got to step up in this fourth quarter.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's the key right now. And Oubre's not giving them what you were hoping offensively. Look, Tobias Harris has been much maligned, but I thought he looked good in the first half. I thought he played good defensively. I thought he shot with confidence. But I'll be very intrigued to see what Nick Nurse does with the rotation here in the fourth quarter, because that was a big thing that I think we all looked at and said, I don't know about your fourth quarter rotation in game one. So I guess we're going to find out here in the next couple minutes. Dives is going to find out 30 seconds before us. But
he is. Yeah.
Maxey was 0 of 4 from the field and 0 points in the third quarter. That's not good. But yeah, Oubre, I'm weird with Oubre. As long as he's keeping Brunson to like less than 30% from the field, I'm good.
Honestly, I think, but that's the thing. It's like, okay, well, I think when Nick Nurse, says that, it's like, all right, listen, we need you to shut down Brunson as much as possible, but it's not like you ignore your offensive game. Like, you still need to bring that to us. Like, we need this on top of what you normally do. And he is just perfectly honest. He's kind of forgetting the offensive side of the ball. And he's just, and I get it, it's probably very draining and whatnot. And but still, you need to pick up. You need some points here in this fourth.
For sure. All right, next question. Which position could the Eagles address in the draft that would surprise you the most? Any thoughts?
Honestly, at this point, I'm going to say running back.
Mhm.
And, obviously we got Saquon. There you go, Embiid. They have Saquon. You have Gainwell, who obviously I would love to replace, but I know that the Eagles love them some Gainwell. And they brought in the kid from San Fran that was a third round pick a year or two ago, Price. And they have a couple of guys. And while I don't necessarily think it's out of the realm, I just don't see where a rookie running back would fit or even have a chance to fit on this team. So that's all. I think it would be almost a wasted pick unless you happen to just fall into a guy. And let's be honest, their mid-round running back drafts have not been great.
You mean you didn't like Donnell Pumphrey in the historic running back draft?
In the historic running back draft, where everybody and their mother drafted an amazing running back, and we end up with, hey, he broke the record in college. Oh,
Donnell Pumphrey
broke the record in the NFL for not doing a damn thing.
There was Joe Mixon. There was Alvin Kamara. There was Dalvin Cook. There was Aaron Jones. There was everybody and their mother. The only thing that makes me okay with that was the guy I wanted. I don't even know. He's not in the league anymore, and I can't remember his name. But like my sleeper guy that year.
Nader Walla.
No, I think I want to say he was a Boise State running back. I don't know why I got Boise State on the mind.
Ryan
yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Ryan M.
I can't remember it now, but like that was like my sleeper back if they weren't going to get the Dalvin Cooks and Kamaras and all that. But my God, that's one of those drafts that like it's picks like that I think make us all hate what Howie has done when he probably hasn't been as bad as we think he is. It's like stuff like that. But
what year was that? 2013?
I don't think it was that long ago.
No.
I want to say it was the year. God, no, it had to be. I want to say it was Saquon's year because Aaron Jones was in that year, and Josh Jacobs, and that's tough. I may be off.
I'll look into it.
I think the position that I would be most surprised with, but I wouldn't be upset about, is defensive tackle.
Dude, you just stole the words right out of my mouth. Yeah, really? I would be. I really don't see them drafting that position. Now, obviously, undrafted free agent is a different animal, but I can see them saying, look, we've got a lot of young guys at that position. We've got to turn our draft needs to all these other positions. I'm with you, Dibes. I wouldn't be upset about it, but I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised, actually, if they took one in this draft.
Yeah. Like there's definitely a Sixers verse where they miss out on kind of the top prospects. They're all gone. They weren't able to trade up, but maybe Byron Murphy's sitting there and they're just like, you know what? We're just going to take the best player available. And we're going to throw him into a rotation at defensive tackle. I wouldn't be that upset about that. I would be shocked, but it's not. They definitely could do a lot worse. Davies has missed the start. I want cornerback in round 1. First choice is Mitchell. Second is Wiggins for Davey. I like it.
Okay. Over Arnold.
I think if there's a prospect that has definitely kind of went down the big boards, it's absolutely Nate Wiggins. Due to his tackling, due to the lack of run support, due to that frame, he's got some Emmanuel Forbes in him. Which is not a bad thing. I loved Emmanuel Forbes last year. There's a lot to like about Nate Wiggins. If he's the pick at number 22, I'd be pretty good about it. But there are some concerns, and the fit with the Eagles definitely leaves a lot to be desired. So defensive tackle for me, I think, is the position that would be like, wow. I think that's more of a testament on Jordan Davis than it is anything else. All right, let's roll on. Yeah, Ryan.
So I found the draft. It was as I scroll through. It was 2017. Christian McCaffrey was the first running back selected. I'm sorry.
Here.
Leonard Fournette was, then McCaffrey.
That was here. That was in Philly.
Yeah, that was here in Philly. Exactly. I was sitting right next, well, not next to him, but right near Mike Mayock, inside, like in the thing. And I actually
you were seated.
Oh yeah. And they did the red carpet. Me and my boy were in there just like yelling at people. I was booing Nick Saban. Like I actually ended up getting into a Tennessee newspaper because I was booing Nick Saban, and it was literally me and my buddy, like blown up, like angrily yelling at Nick Saban, and we made the paper. But anyway,
I'm blanking on his name. I met Clemson's head coach that night because he was there for Deshaun Watson. Yeah, I met Dabo in the in the store. In the store, he was buying Houston Texans stuff. Yeah.
He missed it. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Dalvin Cook. That's the year we took Sidney Jones in the second. Joe Mixon. Let's see. Then Alvin Kamara in the third. Cooper Kupp went in the third too. Jeez. Kareem Hunt.
Draft.
Oh my gosh, Kareem Hunt.
That draft really was a bad one for the Eagles that year.
Yeah. Dante Foreman, who I really liked out of Texas.
Mhm.
He, didn't have like a crazy career, but he, still around. James Conner from Pitt.
Mhm.
God, there really was everyone. Samaje Perine. Who doesn't love some Samaje Perine? Tariq Cohen. Joe Williams. Nobody knows who that guy is. Out of Utah. Donnell Pumphrey. Jamal Williams. Oh my God, Jamal Williams too. Wayne Gallman from Clemson to the Giants. That guy sucks. Marlon Mack. He had a cup of coffee. Brian
That's
Hill.
right.
I don't see anybody from.
I don't know why I'm thinking Boise State. I can't remember, but there.
Oh, Jeremy McNichols from Boise State.
Jeremy McNichols. That might have been the dude.
How about that? And he went to Tampa, who drafted
Yes.
Fournette. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yes.
We got Fournette. That's really funny.
Yes, that's right. When I figured they weren't going to get Dalvin Cook and all those guys, I was like all about the McNichols. And guess what? McNichols had a better career than Donnell Pumphrey. So that's all I'm going to say.
So did you, by the way.
Yes, this is also true.
Yeah.
But Pumphrey's got a ring. Unbelievable.
Ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Wow. Speaking of gross, the Sixers are down 85-78 as Bogdanovich hit a huge three.
Yeah.
Embiid turnovers. It's literally just the Embiid and Maxey show. Nobody is stepping up outside of those two for the Sixers, man. This has been a tough second half for sure. Let's get to our next question. Day 2 and day 3 predictions for the Eagles.
Day 2.
Ryan, any thoughts?
Day 2 and day 3.
I am going to predict mostly because I want to continue to put it out into the universe and manifest this to happen. I am going to predict not only one. I'm going to do both day 2 picks. JT Sanders, Edgerrin Cooper. Put it out in the universe.
I can't wait for that moment during the watch party when everybody gets it on their phone, like Edgerrin Cooper to a different team, and we all start crying.
Pretty much.
I think the first thing you're going to get is the Eagles get on the board at 50 and Edgerrin Cooper's there and you're all just waiting and they draft an offensive tackle and you all just stare at the screen.
That is
that will be when Mark leaves, right? Mark has a tendency to, when the pick does not go well, he just he signs off for just 10 minutes. He needs 10 minutes just to gather himself. Okay. I remember when they did that, when they picked Jordan Davis over Kyle Hamilton. He just left the show. He just walked out. He just left.
I don't blame him. I would have left the show too.
I want the Eagles to shore up the secondary by day 2. Like the end of day 2, whether it's even round 1 included, if they double dip, I'd be even more happy. But I want the Eagles to shore up the nickel spot. I want them to shore up the future CB1 of this draft. I want them to shore up the slot position. So guys I'm thinking about, like Javon Bullard would be a great day 2 selection for the Eagles, a guy that can thrive in the slot. He's a safety. He's small, but he's a very good tackler. He's a guy that can hunt quarterbacks and make plays on the ball. He plays way bigger than his size, and he can really thrive in the slot. Absolutely awesome prospect when it comes to as a guy that could learn under CJ Gardner-Johnson down the road. Other guy, of course, is Max Melton. We've talked about him ad nauseum. He's a no-brainer pick. He's an amazing athlete. He's got a lot of twitch. I think he has some upside on that boundary, but oh my gosh, as Maxey gets thrown to the ground and there's no call, of course. So I don't understand what's happening. But anyway, I think those two would be really nice. Mike Sandra still, if he's sitting there. These are all guys that, the Eagles got picked apart in the slot. That was a theme of 2023. I would love to see the Eagles get some young talent to groom there, given how much they're going to run nickel. So those are my guys. Any other guys you want to bring up?
Yeah, I think I think there's a couple of wide receivers that I wouldn't mind them taking a look at. I know it may not be, our biggest need, but still I still think that once you get past the, first rounders, those maybe top 4 or 5 guys, there's a plethora of guys like the Legettes of the world that could certainly be around. There's Keon Coleman from Florida State, Roman Wilson, Michigan. I'm sure I could go ahead and name probably about 10 more, but still, there are guys that I feel like would be a great addition to have in that day 2 range. And then there, again, I think there's also, a need to think of, some defensive tackle depth picks in maybe early day 3. There's a lot of guys I think that could probably fill that role. I think, we've probably talked about it a lot of, replacing Fletcher Cox and also Milton Williams potentially leaving after this upcoming season. So I know that's going to be on Howie's mind of, a position that they would like to take care of. So.
Yeah. What about you, Rob?
Yeah. There's a couple things that I'm curious to see. If they don't get the Ezra and Cooper, who is the linebacker they go after and where do they go after him? Where do they draft a linebacker?
All right. So the 2 biggies, Peyton Wilson, and Junior
Colson from Michigan. They're the 2 names. My fear with the Eagles is all these guys disappear. And then it's like you're sitting there going, all right, now where are you going? But the other thing I'm curious about, and not that I know a lot about these guys, but when you look at the guys who either have fathers or brothers that were, you got Luke McCaffrey late in the draft. You got Brendan Rice, Jerry Rice's son, who a lot of people are saying could be a slot receiver. Like could be his role. So is that a guy that they maybe take a look at late? Who knows? But I'm intrigued to see what they do at the wide receiver position. And then obviously, like we said, the linebacker position as well.
The guy that I would love for the Eagles to draft, you look at their weaknesses the last year, especially when it comes to run support and missed tackles, is Trevin Wallace. I have circled him on my big board for quite some time now. I think he's in my top 100. I could be wrong on that, Ryan. But he's one of the very few true Mike linebackers in this draft. It's not a good linebacker draft, but I think Trevin Wallace is a guy that you can put on the field. He's an unbelievable athlete, ridiculous closing speed. I love Trevin Wallace, man. I would love to see the Eagles get him. I definitely think he's a very good prospect as Kyle Lowry gets the steal. Big moment here for the Sixers. Get momentum and one. Maxey misses the runner.
So update, Trevin Wallace is highest on your board out of the 5.
Is he?
You have him at 90. I am next with him at 94. David has him at 95. Shane has him at 105. And Mark, I don't think Mark has him officially listed. So,
all right, Sixers are still in this. Maxey hits his first free throw. Sixers are down 4 with 7 minutes remaining in this one. Trevin Wallace is a great player. Some other guys that I would love to see day 3. AJ Barner. He's a big time run blocker, tight end prospect out of Michigan, and Theo Johnson out of Penn State.
Yeah.
Just an elite athlete. Guy to grow, develop as tight end 2 behind Dallas Goedert. That'd be really fun.
I think the other name I'm thinking of, and this is more of a day two guy. I think the Eagles are going to look highly at Cooper Beebe. I think Cooper Beebe's a guy that they may target as an offensive lineman in the draft.
Yeah, I think that's a great one. Not just Cooper Beebe as a prospect. He's a terrific prospect. He's kind of been slept on this draft process as Maxey hits a step back pull up from mid range. I think they're going to address the O-line at some point, but I also think this draft this week is going to tell us a lot about how the Eagles view Tyler Steen, because that's kind of been the trendy thing going on in terms of where the Eagles view Tyler Steen moving forward. Is he the right guard of the future? Is he kind of going to be that like offensive tackle 3, like a Jack Driscoll? I don't know how they or maybe both. I don't know. As Maxey falls down, Jesus. Sixers down 5 with less than 6 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Embiid post up on Hartenstein, step back, fadeaway, bucket, misses it.
In and out.
So, guys, one more time, we will be doing a NFL draft watch party starting 7 p.m. on Thursday. Be sure to join us talking everything NFL draft, every team, period. It's going to be a lot of fun. And make sure you check out Training in the AM, 8 a.m. Monday through Friday. And then, of course, we will be going live right after this, talking Sixers versus Knicks game 2. Let's wrap it up, Ryan. Final thoughts, plugs, time's yours.
Yeah, listen. The Eagles certainly have a fun but busy weekend. I can only assume that I'm going to be heartbroken at least 17 times throughout the weekend. But I'm just hoping that they get at least one guy I like. That's really all I could ask for. But yes, please, if you guys want to add us to your draft watching, please do so. Have the draft on the big screen. Bring your laptop. Throw us on. Comment along with us. It's absolutely going to be the best way to draft. So join us 7 o'clock. But other than that, normal show on Monday, 6 o'clock. We'll be breaking down all the picks.
Did you see that?
I'm still waiting.
Yeah, so I did. I can't hear what's going on,
unbelievable.
Did he just make that shot?
He did. That was the most ridiculous shot from Embiid.
Wow.
I'll take it. But yeah, so please also make sure that you like and follow and subscribe into Edge of Philly Sports YouTube and Facebook. Put on those automatic notifications so that every time we go live, you're right there with us. And again, to double down on the trending in the AM, big get for Edge of Philly Sports. Phil is a great dude. We've had him on Birds of the Round Table a bunch. So definitely know him and love him. So watch his show and start your morning off right.
What about you, Rob?
You can obviously catch me here, Party on Broad with the guys. I have been given the okay to give a slight teaser here, Dives. And that is the individual little show. I will call it a mini show that I'll be taking on. No, he's not going to be a part of it. But I'm almost thinking maybe I should make him a part of it. I may get more viewers because he's a lot cuter than I am. Yeah, I'm talking about you, dude. Hey, the Sixers are tied. So you saw earlier our good friend Al comment that he feels like he has PSD. That wasn't a typo, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, PSD is a real thing, and it's called Philadelphia Sports Disorder. And coming soon to these airwaves right here at Edge of Philly Sports, the doctor is in, and that doctor is this guy. All right, that doctor is this guy. I'm going to come to you every week with a few hitting, but guess what? We're leaving the analytics to the professionals up there. They can do the analytics and the scouting. This guy is just coming with full emotion. All right, it's all going to be about emotion. It's going to be uncensored, unedited. No, not you. But anyway, There's going to be unedited emotion, and you may get him. Why is the dog barking? What did you do to my dog? Yeah. Oh, he killed the dog. That's nice. That's really nice. He didn't really. Everyone, do not call animal control on me or PETA or whatever. But anyway, so stay tuned. We don't have dates yet, but it is coming. I know you're traumatized, Davey. We're all traumatized, and I'm going to be here to get you through it. I'm traumatized seeing that hand right there. Okay. This is, dude. Can that be the intro? Just his hand doing this, like in her face. But with that, I'm done. I got nothing left.
All right, guys. Be sure to be on the lookout for PSD coming shortly. PETA is going to protest EOP now.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Q.
No.
Sixers are down 2 with 3:30 remaining here. We'll be doing post game. Me, Mitch, Tiago, Sean, breaking it all down. It's going down to the wire. We'll see what happens. Sixers need to win this, man. Series is on the line. Yeah. As Embiid is throwing himself and his body on the line, doing everything to get the Sixers the W, while everybody else besides Maxey cannot do a damn thing. So
yeah,
we'll see you at Sixers post game. Tomorrow night is Birds of the Round Table. We will be doing if you love the NFL draft, we'll be doing prop bets.
Hey, why didn't you show me that way?
We're going to be doing over-unders and all the fun stuff as like a scorecard to follow along during our NFL draft watch party. So you could actually, Tobias Harris with a huge offensive board.
Huge.
Hit that Batum.
Was Washington.
The other offensive board by Lowry.
Washington died.
I think it was a loose ball foul. Anyway, so be sure to join us tomorrow night for our NFL draft prop bet show. All of us are going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I urge you to follow along with us and tally, and we'll see who has the most points at the end of Thursday.
I'm getting out of here. You guys are too far ahead of me. I'll see you guys next week.
No worries, man. Quinn says Toby. That was a huge offensive board as Lowry misses the
Lowry. Come on, bro.
Oh, man. You can't do that, man. But anyway, we'll see you on Sixers postgame. He is Ryan Reese at Philly Sports PSA on X. I am Dives, Mr. Crockpot. For Ryan, for myself, thank you, everyone, for watching. Stay awesome, everyone. Where's the damn video at?